Hello, everyone. Welcome to another long drive live stream. We didn't get very far yesterday before switching to Voices of the Void, so today I've started a bit earlier so we can hopefully make some more progress. We are about 1 week away from the update, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, we're totally going to beat the game in time, which is quite nice. Ant61 says, "What's up?" Not much, Ants. You might have seen this already, but I've got something I think you will like. Why does it always load images in so huge? Check it out. Mac and Loss. Get it? Because it's Loss with Max. Had to do it. I realized I had just enough to make this joke a reality, and I had to do it. And yep, there we go. That exists now. That is an image that exists in the world. Itchy Zoom, hello, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is going well. I'm doing pretty alright myself. Finally got around to starting an earlier stream. Oh, it was this. Mac and Loss, because it's the Loss meme, but with Macintoshes. I thought it was funny. Just a silly little thing. That also reminds me, we're doing the Control-Alt-Delete thing again, since I haven't done that in a while. Every time I crash, gotta read a Control-Alt-Delete comic at random. Let's hope the early 2000s gamer cringe isn't too bad. Let me get the crash counter back up again. There we go. That carries over from the previous time we did this, which was I was gonna say it was fun. It's more fun in air quotes. We're definitely laughing at it, not with it. In any case, depending on how long it takes me to crash this car, you'll probably see what the what this game sort of entails in a minute or two. How's your day been, by the way, Ants? Good, I hope. Just realized that is all rusty. Need to clean that off. Slept most of the day. So you're awake during the night again? That's what happens. Morning, Rootman. Welcome to the stream. I think we'll play some Voices of the Void as well later on. But after we get like 100 kilometers down in this game, you know? Sleep is good, sleep is good. Watch the threat of Control-Alt-Delete be so powerful that I don't even crash the car this stream. That'd be pretty hilarious. You could call a cowboy, welcome to the stream. Vehicle has been named Krusty. Is that a reference to the clown from The Simpsons? Okay. Check Discord, Minecraft loss. Right, let's see. Let's see this. This is a very new thing, starting to disrupt the streams for people's memes. But it's fun. I like seeing what you guys send. May as well bring up the Control-Delete website here too. One sec. There we go, cool. Let's have a look at this meme now. I don't know enough about Minecraft to know what this is. I mean, I know it's loss, but I don't really know what these things are. I know it's like redstone stuff, like a redstone torch and redstone repeater. But yeah, I really don't know enough. Also, there's 3 in the last panel. Incorrect. There should be only 2 in the last panel because the baby didn't make it. Sorry, that was kind of dark. Anyways, don't think there's anything we really need from this building. Actually, maybe if there's a brush, that'd be helpful. I'm not searching through this whole place for a brush, though, so... IchiZoom says, I don't think I understand this meme format. Do we need another explanation of the lost meme? Basically, you have 4 panels. The first panel has 1 object in it, usually a tall, straight object. The second panel has 2 tall, straight objects in it, the same with the third one. And the fourth one has 1 tall object and 1 object lying down. The one and only user, welcome to the stream. It's a reference actually to an infamous webcomic, which I actually have saved here. I have the long drive version of this meme. There's so many like iterations. But here's the original. I'm doing well, thanks. And the story behind this, I'm so sad I actually know the lore behind Lost. The guy in the first panel, his wife had a miscarriage, and this is him finding out about the miscarriage. And the reason people make jokes about this is because this was dropped right in a wacky gaming webcomic that had never done anything serious like this in the past. And of course the creator was mocked to hell and back for it. And eventually it somehow became a meme in its own way with that minimalist template with just the lines eventually being represented by different objects. That's the gist of it. Cave Johnson, welcome to the stream. Learned an evil way to kill Evil Curfew today, huh? But it's terrible. So you learned a new way to kill Evil Curfew, but it's terrible. Well, let's hear it. Mackin lost. Oh yeah. I need to show that again, since... Oh, damn it. Why does every time I open up an image, it ends up huge, like filling the whole screen? This is my version of the Lost meme that I created yesterday. It's Lost, but with Vintage Max, and you can see the, each panel, you know. Turns out if you have the gravity gun, you can stuff Evil Curfew in the incinerator. Okay, okay. This is in Voices of the Void, by the way. Those of you who are here for Long Drive will be very confused. Also, I'm not sure... Did I say hello to the one and only user? If I didn't, hello. Hope you're going well. I'm doing alright. Welcome to the stream. But I'm guessing, Oh, thank you for the bits. That means you get to pick another ingredient for the floppy disk lasagna, you know? Not a good idea, though, putting Evil Curfew in the incinerator, says Cave Johnson. The game seems to hate it, and every time you close the door, you explode. I'm assuming it also burns up all of the loot that you get, which wouldn't be great. Ichizoom says, petition to change the name of the third one to Maximiliano. Maximiliano? We don't have... Actually, yes we do. We do have a third Curfew, so it's not a Curfew Amiga, though. Let go. That was quick. That crazy person, you really did that right at the perfect moment. For maximum carnage. And do you know what that means? Since this is one of those streams, where we read the control of delete comics. Hang on 1 sec, I have to bump the counter up by 1. Where is that? Okay, here we go. Crash counter, 21. Screen capture. Okay, that's the right screen. Let's pick a random one. Trading skills. April 14th, 2004. World of Warcraft offers a variety of trade skills to supplement your adventuring, such as mining. Cough, cough, wheeze. Oi, I've caught the black lung. Mmm, tasty. And herbalism. Heh, Twinkies. Bloody hell, not that kind of herbalism. Get it? It's a weird joke, I think. Fishing. What the fuck is in... What the fuck in the hell is this? Pepperidge Farms cracker? A Pepperidge Farms cracker? I don't get this reference. Relaxing and rewarding. And of course, let's not forget skinning. Oh my god, gross, 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 gross. Ew. 3 miscarriages out of 10. Anyways. The one of these that says, yesterday on Woolworths I found large tiger prawns. Okay, okay. Is that the, Is that the ingredient you pick for the floppy disk lasagna? Prawns. Large tiger prawns. Cave Johnson asks, I don't suppose you'd have an SE30 you'd be willing to sell. Funny story about that. You probably saw in the image, that lost meme. No. I do have, an SE30. But it has no motherboard. It works just fine. The power supply and the CRT and everything, but it has no motherboard. Oh no, the radiator is glitching out. This car just spat out its own radiator. That wife is so cursed. Blame penguins, not me. Penguins maybe do that. Well, guess we're finding a new radiator. Oh man. Cave Johnson says, I guess an SE and an SE30 are basically the same thing when you've got no motherboards. Yeah. I do have an SE motherboard, but the thing is, the SE has, I think it supports less RAM, and it doesn't support high-density floppy disks, so you're limited to 800K floppy drives. Which is kind of annoying. Looks pretty juicy. Penguin's wife has been immortalized in MS Paint. You are correct. Official Dial-Up Dude character at this point. Do I even have a right to say what is official and what isn't? I think things just happen here. We just go with the flow. Kev Johnson says, I kind of want to get an SE30 and stick modern BSD on it with 128 megs of RAM. I'd like make it useful for shit every day. Could do that. The cool thing about the SE30 is there's so many upgrades for it. You can get external monitor cards. You can get an upgrade card that replaces the CRT neckboard, and it lets you have grayscale instead of just black and white, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, while BSD does have support for the SE30 Ethernet card, it doesn't support the floppy yet. Oh. It does support SCSI though, that's neat. I will say, man, I need to share more pictures of my vintage computer collection, or even do like a tour at some point. The one user says, yeah, I picked tiger prawns because they're about the length of your entire hand. I have pretty big hands. Here's me holding a, an early 2000s PDA for scale. We'll give the lasagna a good crunch. Well, we'll try it. We'll try it, the one and only user. Gives us some meat at least. I honestly thought someone was going to go for kangaroo meat, but prawns are good too. Guess it can be a seafood lasagna. What is the circumference of my hands? I don't have a ruler with me at the moment. Next break I will I'll go get one and we'll we'll measure my hands. Yep, kangaroo meat is a thing in Australia. Actually, surprisingly less common than you would think. You can get it at all the like major supermarkets though. Kangaroo sausages, kangaroo burgers, that sort of thing. Kangaroo mints. Around here you can get your hands on buffalo meat if you really want it. Kevin Johnson says the Swim floppy controller chip is really weird. I have experience with working with floppy disk drives on vintage Apple equipment, and it is pretty much a nightmare. I mean, it's worse than some PCs. And I have seen some PCs with pretty gnarly floppy disk stuff. I've told you all about the NEC portable PC I have, which uses its own proprietary floppy disk drive interface that uses the same connector but a different sized disk drive. It's very annoying. But it takes like standard size floppies as well. It's just the drive is a different size, so you can't replace it with a regular PC one. One user says, I don't know how tall or big you are, but I have trouble finding things that fit or sitting comfortably in some cars. I don't know if you don't know if I go through the same things. I kind of do. But it's mainly because my head is quite large, as you can probably see whenever I appear on camera. Very difficult to find like headphones that fit, for example. Were the Apple floppies readable in any PC drives? No. Completely incompatible. They use a different sort of magnetic encoding, I think. Something like that. I don't know the specifics of it. But Macintosh floppy disks, never readable in PC drives. I think they also spin at a different speed or something. There's a whole bunch of BS going on. It might not even matter if you can't use the floppy drive in BSD. Actually, hang on, scratch that. I just remembered the 1.44 megabyte Macintosh disks. You could read them with a PC, but you need special software. And you can write disk images with a PC, but the 800K and 400K Macintosh disks are not readable in a PC at all. I have actually created boot disks using a USB floppy disk drive for my Macintosh LC3, because that uses the 1.44 megabyte disks, which were a little bit more standardized. Truly an Apple moment, yeah. You know what really infuriates me the most, even though it doesn't really matter anymore? Apple's proprietary USB cables that they had for a while in the early, not even the early, like, all throughout the 2000s. It was literally just a regular USB cable. Let me look this up. I need to get you a picture of this so you'll be mad as well. It was a regular USB cable, but they put a notch in it. So you can't use it. Yeah, like this. Worst thing ever. It's a regular USB cable, regular USB standard, but they put a notch in it. I hate it so much. I don't think they do it anymore, though. Yeah, that's not even mentioning how they used USB 2.0 with the Lightning standard all the way until USB, all the way until the EU forced them to go to USB Type-C. You're correct there, Cave Johnson. And you know what's even wild? They upgraded the connectors on their phones to USB Type-C, but kept the USB 2.0 speeds unless you paid for the Pro model. That's just hilarious. Truly, truly an Apple moment. My BlackBerry came out at the same time as the iPhone 8, and it supports USB 3 and has USB-C. And guess what it also has? Headphone jack. And says I'm using an iPhone 8 right now. Probably what I'd consider the last usable iPhone, the iPhone 8. The 6S was the last truly great iPhone, though. Yeah, the one on Easy, if you're still there. I forgot what I was going to say, never mind, sorry. Why am I like this? ADHD moment. ADHD's nuts. You have a D's nuts meme for everything. When Lisa says, aren't these companies the same ones that sell your data? Yep. The thing is, Apple sells your data while pretending to care about security, so that makes them better, doesn't it? Right? Right, guys? That justifies dropping $2,000 on the new iPhone every year. The fact that they pretend to care. Better than nothing. Right? Oh, man. Life without a radiator. The car is stopping because I have no radiator and the engine keeps overheating. So I have to wait for it to cool down before I start it again.
Hello, Moto.
Fizz on the engine. Welcome to the stream, Chaz. I think that trick only works in my summer car. Kev Johnson says, there was a thing I was reading the other day about how the first gen iPhone SE was like the best iPhone ever made. I think the 6S kinda is a slightly better. But if you like the small form factor, then the first gen SE is definitely the way to go. One of the users says, man, I could go into an entire rant about the history of unseen propaganda to keep people doing a certain thing. Since the beginning of time, man. It's funny how the iPhone 5 era produced both one of the best iPhones and one of the worst iPhones. Being the first generation iPhone SE and the iPhone 5C. Anyone else remember the 5C? It was basically iPhone 4 components and an iPhone 5 shell. And it was only like $50 less than a regular iPhone 5. Kevdotson says, my phone is an Ace 2X from 2012. It's tiny. Fits well into my pants pockets. Nice. I think my dad still has some variant of the iPhone 5. If it's the plastic one with the colorful back, then it'll be a 5C. I think the last time I saw a 5C in the wild was around 2019, maybe? Oh, we've got some pictures here. What if you were enjoying the social environmental benefits of public transit? But General Motors said, drive. American town planning sure is great. Ooh. This radiator's better. Can't get it in the sink. Alright, one sec. One of the users says, I got gifted an iPhone X years ago, and haven't been using anything since because that's just what I have, but over the years it's gotten significantly slower and inefficient. I mean, that's what happens to all iPhones with the updates. Actually, you know what's wild? Do you guys remember all the hype and all the memes surrounding the iPhone X when it came out? Or 10 or whatever? The jokes about how they skipped the number 9 like Microsoft skipped Windows 9. The jokes about the notch. You remember all that?
So hungry.
Man, that's kind of nostalgic.
So hungry.
At least in my opinion. Now for a while, none of the apps worked on it because they weren't optimized for the notch. The notch in the N1 laptops actually gave the Linux graphics people a really hard time. I forgot that they put notches in the MacBooks as well. That's even funnier. I forgot they did that. Right, toss this in. Check this number plate. Purge. PRG, purge. And what is this one? Win. Win? W-Y-N? Guess you could pronounce it either way. Right, let's continue. Ads in a minute, by the way. Okay, back on the road. I actually still have an iPhone 6S Plus, I think. The 6S Plus. Might just be a 6S. I think that phone's like 8 years old now. 9 years old, something like that. And it still gets updates. Granted, it's slow as hell because of all the updates, but it still gets them. Pretty neat. Okay. I think we've got enough fuel and everything to just go straight to the end of the game if we want to. Make a save. I have not saved yet this stream. There we go. So I need to clean this bonnet up. Wonder what color would it... I wonder what color it'll be under all that rust. I'm thinking about, in Voices of the Void, resetting the objects and events maybe, since we managed to get to the end of the events. And because we got there half on one version of the game and half on another, I think that broke some things. There are some events that happened, but apparently the game thinks they haven't because they didn't occur in this version. The only thing is you can't reset events without resetting objects as well. So I'd have to gather up everything I want to keep, save it somehow in the mailbox, I think, which you use to transfer items between saves. And then yeah. Then reset everything and come back on day one. We'll do that when we switch to Voices of the Void later, after we're done with here. Because we haven't gotten the reroll events in this version, and I kind of want to see if they're updated. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, damn it, missed him. That's also a crash. You know what that means. Oh, Ants wants us to shed some light. Light has been shed. Yay, more cringe. Do you guys actually like this? When we read these? Ants does. Right. Random. Oh no, this looks racist. This looks racist, we're skipping this. GTA 5 heists look like they're finally on the way. I read an interview that said the holdup was trying to design them so that everyone in the crew felt like they were important. So the getaway driver had something to do, for instance, aside from just sitting and waiting. Use the square button to find a radio station not playing Shake It Off, or the heist will fail. Oh god, we're so fucked. There's a joke in there. 9 miscarriages for that one. -9 for the very probably racist one. Something I can understand, finally. Yeah, there's a reason why I don't do this often. I'm actually questioning continuing doing that. Maybe we should do XKCD instead. XKCD is a lot better. Far less cringeworthy. Far less likely to get me banned from the platform. I really do love XKCD, one of my all-time favorite webcomics. Right. Let's have a look around. Forgot to up the crash counter. It's orange, I think. Is this orange or like a salmon? Brown. Yep, it's a very light orange. Definitely salmon. Salmonella, that is. Should probably make a save. Don't want to lose this. Nice. I think we'll try and get to 4,800, maybe 4,850. XKCD. No. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. I should have seen that coming. You have that joke prepared for everything, don't you? So, making plans for Voices of the Void. I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to disassemble the curfews, sadly. Then place all the bits in the oh fuck. In the letterbox. Am I updating again? When I updated from the previous version to this version, I think some of the events stopped working. And you have to reset objects to reset events. But you can save existing objects from being reset by putting them in the letterbox. Does that mean I can get another Omega? Yeah, it will actually, since we're getting another radioactive capsule from the ground. Since I'm resetting the objects. Would that be cheating, though? Digging up another radioactive capsule after resetting the objects to make a third curfew? Ant says not cheating. Ichizoom says no. And I suppose since we're not resetting expressly for the purpose of getting another radioactive capsule, it's alright. We probably won't build it this stream though. We must have another one. Yeah, we still don't have a pink one. And I have all the parts for a pink one except a radioactive capsule, so... that'll be cool. Oil? Should check the oil, actually. Empty garage, sad. Sorry, Sag. Oh yeah, the one on the user. How's that, Voices of the Void family portrait coming along? Feel free to add yourself to that if you like. I think that was the intention all along, to have everybody in it. Can't mess that a bit yet, but I will, don't you worry. I feel like I should be commissioning you for these. Everyone will be in it that I know of, and we can always extend it later. Maybe I can add my own MS Paint interpretations at some point. Like me, Ants, you and the Catbots, and who else? I think that's everyone. Who else wants to be in the family portrait of bad MS Paint art? Ichizoom? Ichizoom, yeah, you can be in it. What's your profile picture look like, actually? Is it a Minecraft creeper skin? That'd probably be easy enough to slot in there. Creative liberties will be taken. Oh, that is the point, isn't it? That is what art is for. Need to pick an interesting background. No, I'll leave that up to you. Maybe do a version with a green screen background as well, so we can put everybody anywhere. That is a crash. Oh yeah. That isn't a crash. That's just one crash. That wasn't a second one, I swear. Alright, let's sleep. Wrong button. I tend to forget this game has a burp button unless I press it by accident. Okay. Time for another Control-Alt-Delete. Random. Who the hell sleeps with an Xbox anyway? It's my binky. And what were you doing sneaking into my room in the... give me that. No, Ty, Can't breathe, lungs deflating, Ethan. Eyeballs, my eyeballs are burning, Ethan. Getting weak, getting super weak. Ethan, what? Knock it off. Excuse me, a little fucking patience on your part, please. I'm about to burst into flame or start melting any minute now. What is going on here? 1 miscarriage out of 10. This is the problem with most of these. I have no clue what is occurring. I think they must be part of, like, other plot lines. that we just don't get the full experience, you know? These memes have not aged well. Not aging well implies they were good to begin with. I mean, it was one of the most popular webcomics on the internet at that time, actually, so clearly quite a lot of people thought it was good back then. When was that one from, actually? September 29th, 2003. There are people all younger than that who can drink alcohol now. Keep that in mind. There are people younger than that who can drink alcohol. Anyways. Yeah, if you want to be in the family portrait that the one only user is gonna do at some point, feel free to send a link to a picture of how you wish to be depicted, and keep in mind that artistic liberties will very much be taken. There are people younger than that image who can vote. Yes. It's wild. The Xbox 360 is younger than that photo. Well, that drawing. Wait, if we send it just in chat or on the Discord? Either is fine. The Xbox 360 is old enough to vote, let that sink in. Pretty wild. Like how the Wii is old enough to drive. Which makes the warning in the instruction manual about not letting it drive your car irrelevant. The Wii has been old enough to drive for 2 years, yeah. It could be on its full license by now. Rather than a learner's permit. Whoops, sorry, bumped the microphone there. Shaz says, now I feel old. If it hasn't set in already, the back pain is not far away. And the worst part about getting old nowadays is you can't yell at kids to get off your lawn because they're all inside playing their Fortnites on their PlayStations. Wii Sports GTA Edition. I've never actually played a GTA game, but I've always thought a GTA game with the Wii Sports Resort map would be kind of neat. Ichizum says, I'm gonna draw something in MS Paint maybe. Okay. We shall wait and see if you're willing to share. I should do an MS Paint stream. I really should. I'm worse at art than anyone here, I can pretty much guarantee. Absolutely terrible. Those systems are only a couple of years away from being considered vintage. The Wii and the 360 and the PS3. If you think that's wild, the original Xbox, the PS2, and the GameCube are already considered vintage. I have 4 Nintendo Wiis. But no Wii U. And it says I still have a PS2. I have 3 of them. I have way too many consoles despite not being a console gamer at all, really. PS2 was the best console ever. Speaking as someone who almost never plays games on consoles, as stated earlier, I personally believe that the original Xbox was better than the PS2. Just because I thought it looked cooler. I'm a sucker for the green and black color scheme. The PS2 is the best selling though, no disputing that. Although it is looking like it's gonna get outsold by the Nintendo Switch pretty soon, actually. Besides have the NES and N64. I feel like the N64 was kind of held back by cartridges. If it had used CDs, it would have been much more successful, because easier to develop for more games, you know? Cartridge for the win. I mean, each technology has its pros and cons. Ichizoom also likes green and black. Nice. Very good combination. CD was reserved for the GameCube. The GameCube used DVDs. Mini DVDs. CD's nuts. Disc either way, yeah, fair enough. But one of the reasons the PlayStation 1 was so successful was because of CDs. You could use it to play audio CDs. Much cheaper to produce games on disc than on cartridge. More storage space on a disc. Though it did mean that you need to use memory cards to save. Minidisc. It's funny how many people actually forget about the minidisc format. Not like mini DVDs, but the actual format called minidisc. Look at the value there, though, cartridge versus discs. True. That could also be attributed to the fact that the N64 sold less anyways. So it might just be that the games for it are less common than the games for the PlayStation. I've never actually owned a Nintendo 64, although I do have a GameCube. Cartridge systems do have their issues, but so do disc ones, yes. The main complaints I see about disc-based consoles is that the discs can go bad over time, which is true, especially if they're not stored correctly, and that the disc drives themselves can go bad over time, which is true. They need to be stored well and they need maintenance. The original Xbox is plagued with DVD drive issues because the rubber belts that move the tray in and out snap over time, and you need to open up the whole thing to replace those. Yeah, and motors and lasers can go bad. The NES had the most problems with cartridges as the pin readers can go bad. Yeah, because it, that was weird. It put, like, some sort of stress on them when you press down. And the SNES and N64, yeah, they don't have nearly as many issues. They're very reliable consoles. Same with most, top-loading cartridge-based systems. There's an SNES on auction this week here. It's funny, the SNES is the console I've owned the most of. I've owned over 100 SNES systems. Well, technically they were Super Famicoms. The Japanese version. Oh, we passed 4,800 a while back. Nearly time to switch to Voices of the Void. Also adds in a second. Sorry about that. Roman says, you can't replace them. Disk drives are tied to the machine and can't just replace them. Sucks so bad. Yeah, on the OG Xbox. You need to, mod the console to replace the disk drive. Otherwise, you're just stuck trying to fix the one it came with. And it says, I have an SNES, and the power adapter says, for use with Super Nintendo Entertainment System and Virtual Boy only. I've got a Virtual Boy. No games for it, though. If I ever get into modern VR, I want to get a dead Virtual Boy and use the shell on a modern VR headset. PS3 got no games. Oh, you are correct. It does not. But then again, neither does the PS5, so time is a circle. Right, we're going to Voices of the Void now. Actually, I need a title. Title ideas. The SNES is currently at $31. Not a bad deal. Probably going to get bid up, though. Title ideas for a Voices of the Void stream. I usually brainstorm these before starting the stream, but since we're going straight from one to another... Voicing my void like a freak for real. Why not? Why not? When she voicing my void. Okay. I'm gonna restart the stream so these category changes take effect properly. Don't go anywhere.